air crackled with energy, a palpable buzz that seemed to electrify the very streets. It was another Monday morning in downtown Manhattan where the city never truly sleeps and the hustle never stops. Skyscrapers stretched towards the clouds, dwarfing the yellow cabs below, creating a concrete jungle that was both intimidating and inspiring. People rushed to their offices, coffee in hand, ready to tackle the week with a mix of determination and routine. Among them was Daniel, a sharp corporate lawyer known for his quick wit and even quicker thinking, always a step ahead in the legal game. He navigated the crowded sidewalks with ease, his mind already sifting through the day's agenda, planning his every move. He reached his office building, a towering structure of glass and steel, and headed straight for his corner office, where the real work began. Meanwhile, across town, Emily, a meticulous financial analyst, arrived at her desk, ready to dive into the numbers that defined her world. Her eyes scanned the stock market numbers flashing on her multiple screens, each digit telling a story of gains and losses. Emily thrived on numbers, finding solace in their logic and predictability, a stark contrast to the chaos outside. Today, however, something wasn't adding up. The numbers seemed off, and her instincts told her to dig deeper. A series of transactions linked to a wellness retreat caught her eye. They seemed off, almost too perfect to be real. Intrigued, Emily delved deeper into the financials, her curiosity piqued by the irregularities she was uncovering. The more she looked, the more convinced she became that something was seriously wrong. This wasn't a simple accounting error. It was a deliberate attempt at fraud, a scheme that could have serious repercussions. She needed to tell someone, and fast, before the situation spiraled out of control. Daniel's phone buzzed, interrupting his review of a merger contract. It was Emily. They had met at a charity gala a few months prior and had stayed in touch. "Daniel, you won't believe this," Emily's voice was urgent. "I think I've stumbled onto something big." Intrigued, Daniel listened intently as Emily laid out the details. The wellness retreat, called Serenity Springs, boasted luxurious accommodations, celebrity yoga instructors, and promises of complete rejuvenation. But behind the facade of tranquility lurked a scheme to defraud investors. Daniel, never one to back down from a challenge, was immediately interested. He agreed to meet Emily later that day to discuss the situation further. As he hung up the phone, a thought struck him. His own firm had recently advised on a real estate deal for Serenity Springs. He needed to look into this. Later that day, Daniel and Emily met at a quiet cafe, their conversation hushed but intense. They pored over the financial documents Emily had managed to copy. The numbers were damning. Funds meant for retreat improvements were being siphoned off to offshore accounts. "We need more evidence," Daniel stated, his mind racing. "We need to go there, undercover." Emily, though hesitant at first, agreed. They decided to pose as a couple seeking a relaxing getaway. Within a week, they were on their way to Serenity Springs, nestled amidst the serene mountains of upstate New York. The retreat was everything it promised to be, opulent, tranquil, and seemingly dedicated to self-care. But Daniel and Emily were there on a mission. They couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss beneath the surface of Serenity. Section 4. The Unraveling. As days turned into nights, Daniel and Emily carefully gathered information. They spent countless hours poring over documents, cross-referencing data, and piecing together the puzzle that lay before them. They chatted with fellow guests, observed the staff, and took note of every small detail that might be relevant. They even participated in yoga sessions, blending in seamlessly with the other attendees to avoid suspicion. All the while, they discreetly searched for clues, their eyes and ears always open for any hint of the truth. Their efforts paid off when they overheard a conversation between the retreat's charismatic owner, Richard, and a man they recognized as a known financial fixer. The conversation, though veiled in secrecy, confirmed their suspicions about the retreat's true nature. Richard was indeed funneling money out of the retreat, using a complex web of shell companies and offshore accounts. The scale of the operation was staggering. The wellness empire was a sham, built on a foundation of deceit. The more they uncovered, the more they realized the extent of the fraud. Armed with this newfound information, Daniel and Emily knew they had to act fast. They couldn't let Richard get away with his scheme. But they were in a secluded location, far from any immediate help or resources. Surrounded by people who were either complicit in the scheme or oblivious to it, they needed a plan, and they needed it quickly. Time was of the essence, and every second counted. With determination and urgency, Daniel and Emily began to devise a strategy that would expose Richard and bring his fraudulent empire crashing down. Section 5, The Coach's Confession. One evening, after a particularly grueling yoga session led by the retreat's renowned wellness coach, Sophia, Emily found herself alone with her. Sophia, with her calm demeanor and words of wisdom, had become a confidant for many guests, including Emily. As they sipped herbal tea, Emily, feeling a surge of boldness, decided to confide in Sophia. She hinted at the financial irregularities, carefully gauging Sophia's reaction. To her surprise, Sophia didn't seem surprised at all. Tears welled up in Sophia's eyes. "I knew it," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I knew something wasn't right. Richard, he brought me in on the promise of sharing his profits to fund my dream wellness center. I was blinded by my own ambition." Section 6, Justice and Wellness. With Sophia on their side, the path to justice became clearer. She had crucial information about Richard's operations, including access to his personal computer, where he kept detailed records of his fraudulent activities. Working together, they compiled irrefutable evidence of Richard's crimes. Returning to the city, Daniel, with his legal expertise, and Emily, with her financial acumen, worked tirelessly to build their case. They contacted the authorities, presented their findings, and watched as the walls closed in on Richard and his accomplices. The scandal made headlines. Serenity Springs, once a symbol of tranquility and well-being, became synonymous with deceit and greed. Richard's empire crumbled, his dreams of wealth replaced by the stark reality of a prison cell. Section 7, Finding Balance. In the aftermath of the Serenity Springs scandal, Daniel and Emily found themselves reflecting deeply on the experience. The scandal had shaken their lives, forcing them to confront not only the external chaos, but also their internal struggles. They had navigated the high-stakes world of corporate fraud, uncovering a scheme that had far-reaching consequences. The intense pressure and the relentless pursuit of justice had taken a toll on them, both professionally and personally. But through this tumultuous journey, they had also learned the invaluable lesson of balance. They realized that success wasn't just about achieving professional milestones, but also about maintaining personal well-being. Daniel realized that his relentless pursuit of success had come at the expense of his own well-being. The long hours, the constant stress, and the never-ending demands had left him feeling drained and unfulfilled. He vowed to incorporate self-care into his routine, finding solace in yoga and meditation. These practices became his sanctuary, a place where he could reconnect with himself and find inner peace amidst the chaos. Emily, inspired by Sophia's story, decided to pursue her passion for wellness. She opened a small studio where she combined her financial savvy with her love for yoga, creating a space where others could also find balance and tranquility. The unexpected heist had been a journey of discovery, reminding them that true success lies in finding harmony between ambition and well-being. It was a lesson that would stay with them forever, guiding their future endeavors. As the city that never sleeps continued its relentless pace, Daniel and Emily found their own rhythm. They struck a balance between the demands of their careers and the importance of taking care of themselves, proving that it is possible to thrive in both personal and professional realms.
To the channel where mystery meets obsession. I break down chilling cases, shocking twists, and unsolved stories you won't stop thinking about. Disclaimer: the crime stories shared on this channel are fictional and created purely for entertainment purposes. Viewer discretion is advised, as the themes may still include sensitive or suspenseful content. Watch as I bring you thrilling tales well. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an upload.